Good morning. So I am down on the bottom lake today and I'm going to be taking a willow tree out today. So I actually noticed this one last year. I've been keeping an eye on it. It hasn't been getting any lower, but it's just hanging over the path there, so that needs to go. And that comes down to the base here. And there's another branch that comes up and over, and that's all snapped and hanging down. And then there's also a third branch that goes up. Now the owner doesn't like me cutting trees out for no reason. So that one that's over the path, that's fine to go. That one that's going up and over and snapped, that's fine to go. That third branch, I'm not sure if the owner's going to let me take it out. I'm hoping he does. Because behind it you can see there's a pine tree. And I don't know the full history of the site, but a previous owner, and we're talking like 200 years ago here, had something to do with Bodnant Gardens. And the owner of Bodnant Gardens at the time was going out on ships, or sending people out on ships, all across the world to bring in different species of tree, and they particularly liked their pine trees. So you might be able to see down there, we've got two giant redwoods down there and another tall pine tree over there. And I think this might be another one that they had planted, so that could easily be a 200-year-old pine tree there. And it is a fantastic shape at the top, but you don't notice the top of it because you're distracted by these willows. And these willows are seeds that are blown in. They're effectively very large weeds. So I would like to get that branch out as well, but we'll have to see what the owner says. But for now I'm going to start with the damaged branches, and then I might be able to convince him that it's leaning over the path and that one needs to go as well. And then we'll be able to see that fantastic tree there. I just thought I'd give you a bit more context as to how big this pine tree actually is. So I'm down here at the base, and that's my hand against it. This thing is massive. That'll take at least 2 people, if not 3 people, to put your arms all the way around it. So yeah, I'll get you on a stand and I'll get going with this one. I'm going to be doing it all by hand because we haven't, well, I say all by hand. I'll be taking all the side branches off by hand, and then when I'm down to the main trunk, then I might start using a chainsaw. But I haven't got a lot of space to work with because we've only got this narrow path, and then we've got the lake. Or if you go the other way, there's a steep hill and then there's another lake. So there's not a lot of space to work here. But yeah, let's get on. You know those days where you feel like you're not really getting anywhere? I think this is going to be one of those days for me. So the little electric chainsaw that I have, I think the battery's flat, so that's not working today. And the handsaw that I've got, oh, that's kind of blunt as well. So what I'm having to do is cut everything out so I can get it in the trailer over here. But where that willow's been hanging over, the rhododendron here has gone skywards, as well as there's an elderflower there that's gone skywards as well. So they're all spindly and flopping around and getting tangled with the willow that's coming down. So it's all going incredibly slow now. So once I get this willow out, I'll take a look and see if I can trim the tops out of those as well. But yeah, it's going to take a while. Right, let's get you back on the stand. So I'm actually starting to really struggle with this. So you can see that this section down here, I've cut the worst off the end of it. That's getting into chunky stuff now. I'm going to need a chainsaw for that. That's not too much of an issue. But it's all this twisty stuff up here. You can see where it's snapped up there. That's too high for me to actually reach from down here. Even with my saw on full extent, I can only just about touch it, and I'm not actually getting anywhere trying to cut it. So I thought I'd push down through here so I can look at the base of the tree. So just down underneath there, you can just about make out that's the chunky one that I've already cut. So I can get into the base of that with a chainsaw. I would say easily, but not that easy. Then it's actually this one here that goes out over towards the training pool there. It's been cut off at the end there, and then the sprouts come up and gone over this way, and you can see it rotted and snapped up there as well. But I'm thinking I might be able to reach that with the handsaw from this side. That's the other one that I want to get out, but there's another big branch that goes off over that way, and that's getting in the way over on the training pool. And then these two here are also getting in the way of the training pool. So I'm thinking I'm going to leave that branch that goes up there for now. I'm just going to get the ones that are dangerous and in the way. Because what would be easier is to get a big shredder up and put it up by the training pool there and start from that end and work this way and just take this tree out entirely. I say take it out, that doesn't mean it's going to die. What you can see is it's a willow tree that's actually been cut down before, and it's coppiced. So where it's coppiced, you cut it down and it basically sprouts out from the base. So rather than having one tree, you end up with 5 or 6 trees. Problem is, once you coppice the tree, you have to keep doing it every 10-15 years. Otherwise, you've basically got 5 or 6 trees top on one root system, and it just can't cope. So, yeah, let's try and get that down, and then that will be it for today. I will just say we're closed today, so I don't have to worry about it falling on anyone on the path. Right. That's no longer attached. Let's see if I can actually get it out of here now. Okay, well, I'm all tidied up now. I think that's all I can do for today. So when you think back to what it looked like this morning, there's quite an improvement. Now unfortunately I can't get rid of that big branch because there's just too much material up there. I'll have to wait until I get a shredder in for that. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow because there's still more I can do lower down the tops of the rhododendrons and bits and tidy it all up. I'm actually impressed that I didn't do too much damage to the rhododendrons considering I've just dropped a tree on top of them. But yeah, so yeah, see you in the morning. Okay, well it's the next day and I'm back. It's a good job I didn't cut that tree down because the owner complained yesterday that I'd been using the chainsaw for too long, so I must have cut far too much down without actually leaving the house. So yeah, but today I'm going to be working down here, so I will be getting those bits of rhododendron off later. But what I'm actually going to start with is this wire fence down here. So I don't quite know why. There appears to be a wire fence that runs along here. Sections of it have been cut out. There doesn't appear to be any posts, and it stops you from getting through. And as you can see, the owner did say leave it in place because it stops kids running through. But you can see this bit's all trampled down, and people still don't run through. So I don't think that's really going to be a problem. But it's stopping me from doing anything. So I'm going to start from here. I say here, I think this is the end because I can't see any more along here. But I'm not quite sure. I've given it a pull and it doesn't seem to want to move. But I'm just going to start from here, work my way along and cut it up and pull it out. So yeah, let's get on with that. So that's the first piece out, and unfortunately I've tried the second piece. I think it's going to be the same all the way along. So I think with this one they actually nailed it to the tree and used the tree as a post, but the tree had actually grown round it, so I've cut it as close to the tree as I can. Now that won't cause a problem to customers because they're right underneath it. I just have to be aware of that if I ever take a chainsaw to that and try and cut it any further. But yeah, this section here, I've just done exactly the same. Started pulling it out, and you can see there, that piece of wire goes into the trunk of the rhododendron here. So I'll cut that as flush as I can. But yeah, I was going to say, I might have to do that a few times because it goes straight over to that rhododendron that might be the same. So well, let's carry on. So I've got from the tree stump all the way down over there, all the way along to here. This is the first evidence I've actually found of it being secured to anything. So I've got this piece of wood here with a nail in it. But looking at the angle of the wood there, I reckon that was just a tree that they've nailed it to. I don't think that was actually a proper post. So I don't know what they actually thought was going to hold this fence up, because there doesn't appear to be any posts or any evidence of posts. So yeah, it's good to be getting it out. So that piece is so deep in there, I'm not actually sure how I'm going to get to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to the other end there and start working back this way, and hopefully I can pull it out from this end. Okay, well that is me done for today. As you can see, the weather's changed a little bit this afternoon. But yeah, after I managed to get all that fence out, I did come back along and rake all the leaves and everything up, so it's looking a lot tidier along here. But yeah, as you probably saw in the video, there's quite a few branches and things down over there, so there will be another video in the future where I carry on and clear even more in this. But unfortunately that's not going to happen just yet. So yeah, do make sure you subscribe, because then you'll know when that does happen. And I shall see you later.